Hello, I'm Toni Rockis, and I've been a grant writer for more than 30 years. I've had many different types of clients, and I've had the opportunity to write winning grant proposals that have brought more than $65 million to those clients. I'm very pleased you've decided to take a look at grant writing as a possible work-at-home career. So let's get started. Grant writing really is the perfect work-at-home opportunity. It's a fabulous way to give back to society, it's very rewarding, and it's financially profitable. And quite frankly, your timing couldn't be better. Why is now a great time to be a grant writer? Well, for instance, more than $550 billion is available in grants each year. This money comes primarily from three different sources. First, there are over 75,000 foundations, private, corporate, and community, that fund grants. They gave more than $44 billion in grants during their last yearly reported funding cycle. Now, many private foundations are created by wealthy individuals or families. One of the most famous, and probably one you're most familiar with, is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Since the foundation was formed in 1994, Bill and Melinda Gates have awarded more than $23.9 billion. They've awarded grants around the world, in North America, for instance, for libraries and to support U.S. education, in South America and Europe for health issues and libraries, in Africa and Asia for health, poverty, and development, and even all the way toward Australia for health projects. Their foundation literally reaches around the world. Now let's look for a minute about corporate foundations. There are many examples of corporations that have foundations. Just a few of them are Walmart, General Electric, Verizon, AT&T, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Caterpillar, PepsiCo, 3M, State Farm, General Mills. The list goes on and on. And let's look for just a minute at the community foundations. Community foundations are found in most local areas. In my hometown, for instance, we have the Morris Community Foundation. I'm sure you may have a community foundation in your hometown as well. The second place that money is available is from the 26 federal agencies that fund grants, like the Department of Education, the Department of Labor, the Department of Energy, etc. Most of these 26 federal agencies use a website, www.grants.gov, to advertise available grants. This website also serves as a portal for grant writers to submit grant proposals to these federal agencies. This website, www.grants.gov, is a central storehouse for information on over 1,000 grant programs. It provides access to about $500 billion in grant awards each and every year. In the third place are government agencies. They also fund grants in all of our 50 states. Each of our 50 states has its own method for advertising and awarding grants. You can get grant information from many governors' websites or from the websites of individual departments within each state government. So what exactly does a grant writer do? Well, a grant writer sees a problem, then writes a proposal to persuade people with money to use their money to solve the problem. Put in simpler terms, a grant writer turns words into money. For foundation grants, grant writers write persuasively. We literally try to persuade foundation personnel to fund our clients' proposals. For state and federal grants, we use technical writing. So I guess you could say that grant writers use their right brain when they develop foundation proposals, and their left brain when they write state or federal proposals. That keeps it very interesting for us. And I can attest to the fact that grant writers learn a little bit about a lot of things. As a grant writer, you don't need to know a lot about each idea you're presenting in your proposals. But as you do your research, you'll certainly learn enough to be able to present your topic with enthusiasm and in a way that gets funders interested in funding your ideas. You do, literally, quickly learn to turn your words into money for your clients. But grant writers really don't write grants. Grant writers write proposals to get grant money for nonprofits like schools, community organizations, social service agencies, and hospitals and clinics. This list is truly endless. Just think about all the nonprofit organizations in your very own community. You've got park districts, perhaps youth organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, community centers, shelters for abused women, research institutes, animal shelters, food pantries, fire departments. It goes on and on. The chances are good that there may be dozens of nonprofits within a 20-mile range of your home, and every single one of them should be absolutely thrilled to have the services of a grant writer. Many of them may need grant money just to keep their doors open and to continue offering their services to their clients. If you decide that grant writing is an opportunity you'd like to pursue, these nonprofits will welcome you with open arms. When a nonprofit has a need to help people, animals, or the environment, for instance, they usually need financial support to meet that need. That's where grant writers come in. Here's an example. A grant writer would link a nonprofit organization that has a need, like a fire department that needs a new fire truck, for instance, with a funder who has money to give, like the Department of Homeland Security. So simply put, the grant writer provides the connection between the funder and the nonprofit organization that's looking for money. And then the grant writer would be hired by the nonprofit organization to write the grant proposal, so they then can submit it to the funder who has the money. Here's a really neat thing. You don't have to do it all alone. Most nonprofit staff will help you. They'll gladly work with you and provide the information you need because, obviously, they gain if they are given the money. Plus, they're the experts in what their organization is trying to accomplish and what projects and activities they do best. So their input into the proposal is absolutely essential. Nonprofit organizations don't normally have staff available to spend a lot of time researching money that's out there, and yet they need that money to survive. They're interested in finding the money, and there is a real shortage of good grant writers to help them do that. When you can offer them opportunities to get money, they'll be really, really pleased to work with you and pay you a fee. As a grant writer, you're not only helping them with their mission and goals, you're also creating personal and financial independence for yourself at the very same time. Let's look for a minute at 6 really great reasons to become a grant writer. So if you're kind of on the fence about this, let's look at these 6 reasons you should consider this seriously. The opportunity to work from home or anywhere else in the world you happen to be. Get rid of your daily commute and the stress that goes along with that commute. No more traffic jams. Get up each morning, make a cup of coffee or tea, and walk down the hall to your new office. Or grab your laptop and head to your gazebo in your backyard. Or for that matter, throw your laptop in your backpack and head down to the beach. Work anywhere where you're most comfortable. You'll find that your productivity will soar to new heights. Second, flexible scheduling. You choose when you want to work, and when you don't, for that matter. Don't feel guilty if you need to run errands one afternoon, or if you need to take your mom or your child to a doctor's appointment. You, not someone else, are in control of your schedule. Say goodbye forever to your boss telling you when you can and can't have time off. Have more time to spend with your family and friends. Say hello to a daily schedule that's really flexible. Let me share a personal example with you. My husband and I both love to travel, and we've taken several trips all over the world. We've been very, very fortunate. We've been to China, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Greece, Croatia, Montenegro, Argentina, Egypt, and next month we're headed down the Amazon River. I couldn't travel like this if I had a traditional job. Having the freedom to choose when you want to work and when you don't is a great byproduct of working at home. Third, freedom to be your own boss. No more of this 9 to 5. If you work best in the early morning, you can have afternoons with leisure time. Or maybe you're most productive when everyone else is in bed and the house is quiet at night. Either way, it's your choice. Number 4, personal fulfillment. Make a positive impact with your life. When you're a grant writer, you have the flexibility to choose which clients you want to work with. I select the ones that are nearest and dearest to my heart. By doing this, I get true personal fulfillment. Number 5, financial opportunity. You can accept as many clients as you want. Generally, the more clients you have, the more money you'll make. Freelance grant writers can pull in 6-figure incomes. You decide how many clients you want and how much money you want to make. And 6, the chance to share your talents with the world. Grant writing is really a fantastic opportunity to help many, many people. You help the nonprofit organization by getting them money for new programs and services. This, in turn, helps all their clients. You never know how many people you assist by writing one grant proposal. Sometimes it's hundreds, sometimes it's thousands. The bottom line is that your skills and talents help make the world a better place. And it really just doesn't get any better than that. Let's look at what's financially possible. According to the American Grantwriters Association, the Internal Revenue Service suggests that a beginning grant writer can expect to make around $40 an hour. Experienced grant writers in urban areas usually make around $150 an hour. Let's take a closer look at these figures for just a second. Let's say you decided to write a federal grant. Many federal grants take between 100 to 140 hours to complete. So an experienced grant writer could make somewhere in the vicinity of $15,000 to $21,000 to write this proposal. If this same grant writer decided to write 10 federal proposals each year, she could make between $150,000 and $210,000 a year. A grant writer's income depends upon the type and number of grant proposals he decides to write each year. Now, how do you get paid as a grant writer? Well, there are a few different ways. As we saw earlier, grant writers may choose to get paid on an hourly basis. They may also choose to receive payment on a daily rate. Fees could range around $400 a day for a beginning grant writer and up to $1,200 a day or so for a more experienced grant writer. Then, after you've written several proposals, you'll be able to easily assess the time and resources it will take to complete a proposal. It's not uncommon for accomplished grant writers to charge between $10,000 and $25,000 to do research and write a proposal for a state or federal government competition. So you may choose to get paid by the project. Let's spend a moment now just looking at 8 characteristics of successful freelance grant writers. First, written communication skills. You'll really want to enjoy both persuasive writing and technical writing. Grant writers need to be able to write effectively and to write in a manner that's clear, concise, and compelling. They should enjoy both persuasive writing and technical writing. As we discussed earlier, most foundation proposals include persuasive writing, and most state or federal proposals include technical writing. Number 2, research skills. Whether you're looking up statistics to use in your proposal or searching for funding opportunities for your clients, you'll want to be an efficient researcher. Searching the internet for funding opportunities is a daily activity for most grant writers. And more often than ever before, funders ask that grant proposals be submitted online. So, being internet savvy makes a grant writer's life much easier and much more fun. Number 3, public relations skills. There's a song with the lyrics that go, "Life's a dance you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, and sometimes you follow." Grant writing is a lot like these lyrics. Sometimes you'll lead a group of individuals or a process that brings together multiple ideas to form a solution to a problem. And sometimes you follow by intensely listening to a group of people as they brainstorm ideas, discuss solutions, and determine project activities that fit their organization. But whether you're leading or following, good public relations skills will help you get your business up and running. And number 4, oral communication skills. Being able to effectively interact with others is absolutely critical to your success as a grant writer. You should be comfortable enough with your vocabulary and your speaking style that you're able to convey your message in any professional situation. Number 5, goal-setting skills. Setting goals like your annual income, the number of clients you want, or the number of days you want to work is the best way to stay highly motivated. Aim high so you'll stay motivated to obtain your professional goals. Number 6, positive attitude skills. Your business will grow stronger as you maintain your optimism, confidence, and openness to new opportunities. Listen to your inner voice. Try not to let outside influences affect you. Recognize that your time is really your greatest asset and that it's very valuable. Number 7, discipline skills. To maintain credibility and be viewed as a professional, you know grant proposal deadlines just can't be missed. So always work your plan and always plan your work. Number 8, competitive skills. Competition is almost always a motivator for grant writers. Striving for excellence with each grant proposal you write sets you apart from your competition. And you may, somewhere down the road, choose to become a certified grant writer. The American Grant Writers Association offers this professional certification. And how easy, really, is it to get started? Well, you'll need a computer and preferably a laptop because, as we said earlier, you can work anywhere you want, anywhere in the world you want. So a laptop is definitely more portable. And on that computer, you'll want Word, Excel, and Adobe Acrobat. You'll also, if you do choose to work from home, want a comfortable chair and a desk. You'll need a telephone, preferably with 2 lines, one for your personal phone calls and one for your professional phone calls. Believe it or not, you really do need a fax machine. There will still be clients who will want to fax you information. You'll also need a file cabinet because you'll want to put information in the cabinet on notes that you take from meetings. You'll want to file away hard copies of proposals that you write and other bits and pieces of information that you have about your clients. You'll want a copier so that you can make copies of proposals that you develop. And you'll want a laser printer, preferably in color, so that you can print the proposals that you develop. Now, how flexible is a grant writer's work schedule? Let's talk about the funding cycle. The short answer is your schedule is as flexible as you want it to be. Foundation grants are available all year long. This is important for grant writers to know because it means they can work with clients as much or as little as they want all year long. In other words, grant writers don't sit around waiting for money to be released. It's available all the time. Our job is to match our clients to the appropriate funders. Some foundations put out requests for proposals. We call them RFPs. These RFPs announce that the foundation has money to give nonprofits for certain projects. When RFPs are issued, grant writers have a set of days, usually between 30 and 60 days, to write the grant proposal and submit it to the foundation. Other foundations release money whenever someone, usually a grant writer, writes a letter of inquiry, or LOI. These LOIs are usually about 3 pages long and are written to introduce the nonprofit organization to the foundation. The letter of inquiry outlines a problem and a solution to that problem and asks the foundation to provide dollars to the nonprofit to solve that problem. State and federal grants are also available year-round. In most cases, though, these funds are distributed only through RFPs. And unlike foundations, state and federal agencies often have funding cycles. For instance, the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas is usually a slower time for grant writers who specialize in writing state and federal proposals. This is because some state and federal agencies often choose not to release RFPs during the holiday season. But this is certainly not a hard and fast rule. I can tell you from experience, I've spent many evenings just before and just after Christmas writing proposals for state or federal grants. So this is what we know to be true. A grant writer's schedule can be as flexible as she or he wants it to be. The grant writer can work with as many clients as she wants and write as many proposals as she wants. The level of flexibility in her schedule is really up to her. Now, how's our economy affecting grant writing? Well, let's look at it from the 3 types of grants: foundation grants, federal grants, and state grants. While some foundations cut back on the amount of money they distribute through grants when the economy is on the downslide, like it was in 2008 and 2009, for instance, the vast majority continue to fund numerous projects to the tune of billions of dollars. A great resource for information on foundation grants is the Foundation Center at www.foundationcenter.org. The Foundation Center, in one of its publications called Highlights of Foundation Giving Trends, recently indicated that there's a steady commitment among funders to their missions and grant-making priorities and guidelines. So even in economic downturns, many organizations try very, very hard to maintain a consistent level of funding. Now let's look at federal grants for a minute. Recently, when the U.S. economy took a nosedive, the amount of federal money available through grants actually rose considerably. The American Reinvestment and Recovery Act of 2009, a $787 billion stimulus package, poured billions of extra dollars into the grants arena and created numerous new opportunities for grant writers to obtain federal grant dollars for their clients. And then finally, state grants. Well, the number of state grants will actually fluctuate according to the financial status of individual states. So the bottom line really is this: there has always been grant money available. And we know there are too few good grant writers to help nonprofits access these dollars. Okay, what are your next steps? Here are 6 things you can do to get started. First, talk to other grant writers. Ask them about their experiences writing grant proposals. Discuss their views on the opportunities they feel are available for someone like you who is looking to get into the grant writing field. Ask their opinion about anything you want to know. There's absolutely no reason they won't be totally honest with you. and you should be able to get great insight into this growing work-at-home opportunity. Number 2, consider working with a mentor. That's how I got started. I was very, very lucky to find a great grant writer to work with. She showed me all the proposals she had written, and she let me read them. She taught me what to include in a winning proposal. She worked with me and explained the do's and the don'ts of grant writing. My time with her was really invaluable. I'm totally convinced that she is why I've been so successful. I highly, highly recommend that you consider working with a grant writing mentor. Number 3, apply to be a proposal reader. Most state and federal funders look for individuals who have expertise in the areas they're funding. They ask these individuals to apply to be readers, people who review grant proposals and recommend whether or not they should be funded. By serving as a proposal reader, you accomplish 3 important things. First, you get to read several different proposals. You'll very quickly see certain things in each proposal that you like, and certain things that you don't like. Take the things you like and use them as you write your own proposals. It's a great way to find ideas that will make your proposal stand out above all the others. Second, you get to know the people at the funding agencies, and they get to know you. This will make it easier for you to pick up the phone and ask them questions when you begin writing proposals yourself. And third, you get to see the quality of proposals you might be competing against. You'll begin to understand how competitive your proposal has to be to win a grant, and that's invaluable information to have. Number 4, read as many grant proposals as you can get your hands on. You can never, ever read too many proposals. The more proposals you read, the more ideas you'll get. Take all the good parts of the proposals you read and use them in your own proposals. You'll find that your grant writing skills will very quickly improve. Number 5, attend grant writing classes, workshops, and seminars. Learn from as many different individuals as you can. Each master grant writer will have certain tricks she uses to win grant awards. By attending writing classes, workshops, and seminars, you'll have opportunities to learn from grant writers who have been writing winning proposals for years. And last but not least, begin building a library of grant writing books. Authors of grant writing books have usually been in the business for years. They know the ins and the outs of grant writing, and they're willing to share their success secrets with you. You'll cut a lot of time off your learning curve if you pick up and use many of the ideas presented in these grant writing books. If you're interested in beginning to build your professional library, you may want to consider the following resource. Grant Writing Success, Opening the Door to Financial Opportunity. This is a book I've written that discusses the 12 primary proposal sections and shows you what should go into each one of them. It also provides common grant writing mistakes to avoid, tips for writing grant proposals that get funded, and a checklist of characteristics of strong proposals. It provides answers to important questions about the grant writing process and thoroughly covers the proposal review process. It includes information about grant writing proposals to foundations and to state and federal agencies. And you get a full proposal as well as many sections from other winning proposals as examples for you to use as you write your own proposals. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this presentation has provided valuable information and has answered some of the questions you might have had about grant writing as a work-at-home opportunity. Yes, I admit, I'm a little bit biased. I love grant writing, and I think it's the perfect work-at-home career. If you'd like to learn more about this fabulous and exciting work-at-home opportunity, please go to www.awai.online.com /grant writing at home.